What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, January 6th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I just said that intro a second ago and I said 2021. I knew it would get me eventually. I want to say thank you so much for all the love, the support about the job opportunity at High Vibe and all that change that's taking place in my life. I am so excited for this, and it means so much to get the support. And I've had so many people reach out here and on Instagram, people from High Vibe that are excited that I'm joining the team. It is surreal, and it feels amazing, and I appreciate and love you all so much. So thank you for that support. All right, let's jump into the horoscope. We got, it's very divine. It's a Jupiter day, which is Pisces, Sag, of course. We got Jupiter there in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, the moon in Pisces, and the sun is at 16 degrees of Capricorn. And 16 degrees makes a net 7, which is Neptunian Piscean energy. So there's definitely some really surreal energy. I used that word already, but today's got some surreal vibes to it. Now there is some tension that I'm going to talk about, but there is some divine inspiration, divine dedication, divine integrity within us today that is going to show up in a very beautiful way. Now, not only that, but of course, Venus at 20 degrees is still in that sextile over to Neptune, trying, I think, our best to inwardly realize how to make dreams become reality, how to work towards big goals that are dreams, big visions, big ideals that can come to fruition as we start moving forward here in 2022. Today's got a lot of dreamy. It's very intoxicating today. Today feels very intoxicating. Maybe last night when the moon came into Pisces, you felt that too. Like there was an intoxicating vibe, and today's got a lot of that. So it's almost like there's a lot of support from the divine for what it is you're trying to do and move forward with, right? Because the sun, Venus in cardinal energy here, trying to go accomplish something of a more divine mission. Maybe there's some things that you're ready to kind of set standards for in your life that match more with a divine purpose. That's kind of where I'm at, just looking at my life right now. I'm getting ready to go do this bigger divine mission and work for, and do it more. I already do a decent amount, but I want more of the divine, beautiful mission that I love so much. So maybe you're feeling in your life that you're ready to kind of go into the great dream that is this physical reality, and to start, I think, approaching it as how real things can actually be, and to not just think that things are illusionary or non-existent or imaginary, because there's magic in the air when we get Pisces. It's an ultimate faith in the magic that the universe can bring into our lives. And I think today's a really amazing day for feeling how beautiful the energy is that's trying to help you achieve such a bigger purpose. This purpose almost seems like bigger than just yourself. And even with a Mars in Sagittarius and starting to square Neptune, you could be identifying with a more spiritual purpose. Of course, this can make it a little bit difficult to pay attention to yourself in some ways. You can kind of, be extremely overly empathetic or paying too much attention to what other people want. People with Mars-Neptune squares in their charts tend to not identify with themselves. They have a hard time believing in themselves, or having a sense of identity of what they want and how to define and go in a direction. So this is an important time as that's building up too, and we will get the moon coming up to 17 degrees by the evening and squaring that Mars as well. And I think that this is I would say a surrender to whatever the greatest divine mission, flow, accomplishment is. A surrender to the dream, and to intuitively tap into that, and to figure out some sense of what's yours and what isn't yours, and to not lose lose track of the direction you're trying to go right now. So it's like, yeah, we're on a great journey here to some amazing things that are trying to get built, but we have to like keep in sight like how real they can be, and not just, have everything dissolve or be like everything's dissolving. Maybe things are dissolving, but they're not spiritually aligned if they're dissolving. And I would say too, with Black Moon Lilith at 17 degrees of Gemini in opposition to that Mars, and really going to T-square that moon, it's such an interesting thing, because we have Black Moon Lilith back in Gemini, having us kind of not be scared of our truth, not be afraid to speak up, not be afraid to have debates, but to also let people have opinions, to pay attention to your environment and the connections that are taking place in there. And maybe today brings some sense of like emotional, I have to cut this out because it's not beautiful enough, or because it doesn't match where the dream's going, and it doesn't match the intellect. So Black Moon Lilith in Gemini, we can help ourselves with it if we're kind of like embracing our strong feminine creativity to speak and communicate, and to be in a lot of our truth, while simultaneously believing in a new story, believing in ourselves, believing in a bigger mission, a journey, new chapters turning. We do have Jupiter that's coming off the square to the nodes, so there's so many beliefs changing right now. We want to be not afraid of the truth. So you might be seeing in the world like people are starting to see more truth come out, and it could be scary to people out there right now. So we also have to be empathetic, and I think that this moon getting T-squared in Pisces especially is like we got to be empathetic to ourselves, to others, and it's just finding a flow, and not getting too hyper focused or critical. But there is this release point to Virgo, so we can want to be too emotionally put together when it's almost like, gosh, there's so much energy that's just not put together and just unbound, and that's where the actual magic is, and the creativity, and that's where the dreams are going to come true at. So it's a little bit of both, like dedicating to the dream, dedicating to the story that you want to identify with, and not feeling like it's non-existent. So today is a dream, really. Like when I look at the chart, today just feels like a dream. It's got Neptune all over it. The moon's there. There's going to be a lot of subconscious stuff, and there can also be a lot of, because of maybe a need for perfection, or to have everything analytically just dialed up and put together right, but not seeing that right perfection that you're looking for, and realizing that perfection doesn't exist, but existence is perfectly imperfect. And I think it can get people a little bit emotionally tied up or in a head spin. There could be a little bit of anxiety too, with so much Neptune and so much Piscean energy. So it's really about how well we can center ourselves in beautiful energy today, and know that if there was ever a day where there were angels around us, having our back, watching over us, today is that day. So if anything looks chaotic or wild or crazy, it's taken care of by something bigger, and you kind of have to give it up to God and the universe at that point. The moon will also sextile the sun before it does square Mars, and I think that that's great backup, as it is like, yes, the divine is actually dedicating to you right now, and as long as you can feel secure in the divine and the direction it's trying to take you, and a higher power, the magic. It's there's a few ways today can go. We got Aquarian energy with Mercury and Saturn. Mercury's a week away from going retrograde, by the way, on January 14th. So just over a week and a day. And it's at 5 degrees, not making a ton of aspects, but getting ready to station retrograde square Uranus. So let's kind of look ahead of a little bit to that. We can already be starting to, we don't want to think we're crazy, or we don't want to think that our innovations are not, individuated or, explosive enough. Like we can almost have like really big ideals or a big kind of game plan, but it might not go the way that we expected, especially mentally. And today might be a release day to release some sense of how everything's going to look, because the divine is got it all planned out, and you have to trust that. and surrender to that. And that would be the most helpful that we could do, because there is genius in the air. And I think people are going to be innovating magic based on where the divine is leading them on this day. And you just don't want to self-undo or get too stuck on what perfection is, while simultaneously organizing your life based on where the divine wants you to organize it. So extremely divine today. And yeah, I think even with Mars opposite Lilith in Gemini, we got to kind of take our mind out of the equation and just feel everything, because that intuitive feeling is going to show everything you need to know. And it's going to be driven by a much higher source than our ego in Sag, trying to, have the I know of everything in Sagittarius square Neptune. Like if anybody thinks they know too, if anybody's projecting the I know onto you right now, no. No. It's a great time to realize that we really don't know. And you'll see too, you look at some of the great like gurus or masters of the world, like they'll be the first to say like, they don't know. I don't know. That's just what comes through here for me. I'm not going to tell you guys I know. Take it or leave it. That's a great way to go about this day too, is a lot of it's about speaking truth and being in your truth, and take it or leave it, and don't get, head spun, and try and have everything just figured out. Let the magic unfold and surrender to that. And you'll get the inspiration to put the physical effort in where it needs to be put. And that's the best advice I can give myself and anybody else for today. But it does feel very dreamy and intoxicating. So like I said, today's got a few different things. It's got some layers to it. It's beautiful though. Knight of Cups in reverse. Ooh, this is kind of like, make sure you're identifying with the right cosmic doorways, and not just any doorway, or not just some projection of what a doorway that you should walk through is. Like, this card's funny. I'm back, bitches. Who is coming back? We got a Venus retrograde right now, sextile Neptune. Who is trying to come back into your life? And this card is reversed. Like, pay attention to that. Make sure you're going into doorways that are just absolutely beautiful and magical, and not back into some self-undoing doorway, whatever that means in life. And even just being a Knight of Cups, like this is where you can have emotional armor too. You have to kind of find that today, in a day where it's very sensitive. Pisces moon, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Neptune aspects, a lot of sensitivity. So we're going to need to find that kind of emotional body armor, and choose the divine doors that are opening up and just being shown by, it's going to feel very angelic is what I'm feeling right now. So sending you all my absolute best as always, and I will see you for Friday's horoscope tomorrow. Much love. Peace.